Is the Iran-Israel war Trump's Epstein files cover-up? In recent months, global attention has been dominated by rising tensions between Iran and Israel, with the United States playing a major role. Under the leadership of Donald Trump, missile strikes, military movements, and threats of escalation have filled international news cycles. Governments, analysts, and media outlets have been focused almost entirely on the possibility of a wider Middle East conflict, but while the world watches the battlefield, another story that once dominated headlines seems to have faded into the background: the mysterious and controversial files connected to Jeffrey Epstein. The timing has raised a difficult question that is spreading across social media, political discussions, and independent media platforms. Could the war be overshadowing the Epstein controversy? No official evidence directly links the conflict to the Epstein case. However, the coincidence in timing has been enough to spark speculation and debate among critics and observers who believe major geopolitical events sometimes shift attention away from uncomfortable issues at home. The Epstein-shadowed Epstein case has been one of the most controversial scandals involving powerful elites in modern history. Epstein, a financier with connections to politicians, celebrities, and wealthy figures across the world, was accused of operating a large network of abuse involving underage girls. Over the years, court documents, witness testimonies, and leaked information have revealed that many influential individuals had contact with Epstein. While being associated with him does not automatically imply wrongdoing, the secrecy surrounding the investigation and the number of sealed documents have fueled intense public suspicion. When Epstein died in custody in 2019 under highly controversial circumstances, many people felt that the full truth might never come out. Since then, every new release of documents or testimonies connected to the case has reignited global curiosity. So whenever the topic resurfaces, it tends to generate massive public attention. And that is exactly what appeared to be happening again recently. A sudden shift in global attention just as renewed interest in Epstein-related documents began circulating online. Global headlines rapidly shifted toward military escalation in the Middle East. Discussions about war between Iran and Israel quickly replaced almost every other topic. In international news coverage, major television networks, online platforms, and social media feeds suddenly became filled with footage of missile launches, military briefings, and political speeches. Within days, the Epstein discussion that had been gaining traction seemed to disappear from the mainstream spotlight. For some observers, this sudden shift raised eyebrows. Was it simply the natural dominance of a major geopolitical crisis? Or did the war conveniently push another uncomfortable story out of the public conversation? The diversion theory? Critics of political power have long argued that governments sometimes benefit when external conflicts capture public attention. Political scientists even have a name for this concept: diversionary conflict. The theory suggests that when leaders face domestic pressure, scandals, political crises, or public criticism, a foreign conflict can redirect national attention. During wartime, media coverage often becomes dominated by national security, patriotism, and military developments. As a result, other controversies can fade into the background. Supporters of this theory point to history, where some wars or military actions appeared to conveniently shift public debate away from political scandals or domestic problems. This does not mean every war is started for that reason. Conflicts usually involve complex strategic and geopolitical motivations. However, critics argue that the political benefits of a distraction cannot always be ignored. And that is why some commentators are asking whether the current situation might be an example of That pattern questions people are asking across online discussions and alternative media platforms. Several questions are being raised. Why did the Epstein files suddenly stop trending? When war headlines began, could global media priorities have unintentionally buried the story? Who benefits when public attention moves away from elite scandals? Is it possible that two major events simply happened at the same time? These questions do not prove anything on their own, but they reveal a growing distrust among many people toward powerful institutions and political narratives. The Epstein case itself has already damaged public trust because so many details remain unclear. That uncertainty has created an environment where new theories and suspicions spread quickly, whenever powerful figures appear connected to the story. The reality of Middle East tensions at the same time. It is important to recognize that tensions between Iran and Israel did not appear suddenly. The two countries have been strategic rivals for decades. Their conflict involves regional power struggles, military alliances, proxy forces, and disputes over nuclear capabilities. The United States has also been deeply involved in the region, as politics and security structure for many years. These factors alone are enough to explain why military confrontations sometimes erupt. Wars rarely begin for a single reason. They are usually the result of complex layers of political, strategic, and historical tensions that build over time. A climate of suspicion still, the modern information age has created a new reality. People are more skeptical than ever about official explanations. Social media allows alternative theories to spread rapidly, especially when they involve powerful figures, secret documents, or unresolved scandals. Because the Epstein case is filled with unanswered questions, sealed files, mysterious connections, and a controversial death, many people believe the full story has never been revealed. So when another major global crisis suddenly dominates the news cycle, it naturally raises suspicions in the minds of some observers. Is the timing purely accidental? Or did the world simply move on too quickly from a scandal that many people believe still deserves? Answers the unanswered question right now. The world's focus is firmly fixed on the escalating tensions between Iran and Israel. Governments are discussing military responses, alliances, and the risk of a wider regional war. But beneath those headlines, another question continues to circulate quietly across the internet. The Epstein story has never truly disappeared. It simply fades and returns in waves whenever new information surfaces, and whenever it does, people start asking the same question again. Are we seeing the full picture, or only the part of the story that reaches the headlines?